Thank you very much. I'm Jimmy McArthur with the OpenInfra Foundation. And Aseo, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you very much to the OpenInfra user group in Korea for the invitation and for the opportunity to speak today. I'm here to talk to you today about open source as a catalyst for digital transformation. And this digital leap forward that we see trending right now in the data center. So we're going to take a digital leap, but first I want to talk to you a little about the OpenInfra Foundation. If you're not familiar, I know many of you are here, we've got 4 main projects under the OpenInfra Foundation. OpenStack, as you know, is turning 15 this year, so we're very excited. Happy birthday to OpenStack. But we also have Starling X, which is combines Kubernetes and OpenStack and Ceph for a lightweight edge solution. Zool, which came out of the OpenInfra Foundation or the OpenStack project tooling to create a robust CI/CD and project gating system. And then also Kata Containers, which is a lightweight virtual machine that wraps around the container. You may not know, but 86% of container workloads in production today are insecure. And so Kata Containers provides a lightweight way to solve that problem. And we at the OpenInfra Foundation believe that these projects are a way forward to help address the changes that are occurring right now in technology at the data center. And there are many, and I'll get into them in a little bit. We couldn't do this without our global community of over 110,000 people from 700 plus organizations in over 187 countries. They all help to build up the OpenInfra community and the communities that build and support this software. And within that global community is this regional support, like you see with the OpenInfra user group here in Korea, which is one of our strongest user groups. And we're so happy to continue to work with them and continue to speak to you all about the mission of the OpenInfra Foundation. But we also couldn't do it without the many members of our foundation that help support our mission. And you'll see a couple from here in Korea, Orchestro and NHN, that continue to help support the mission of our foundation. But that's not all. We, as Allison and Wes mentioned in the video earlier, we have also recently joined forces with the Linux Foundation. And we believe that this is a way to strengthen the mission of the OpenInfra Foundation and also strengthen the mission of the Linux Foundation. And it follows a trend that we've noticed in the last few years at OpenInfra, which is this OpenInfra blueprint, which has become this industry standard. Linux, Kubernetes, and OpenStack all working together to provide solutions for infrastructure. And because we've now combined forces with the Linux Foundation, we also are able to strengthen the relationships that we have with our communities like CNCF and the Kubernetes community. So now, as we see this natural sort of blueprint taking shape at the data center level and at the edge, we also are able to work more closely with these communities to help strengthen that blueprint and help make open source solutions even stronger. So these projects all working together, and you'll notice Ceph up there and Linux and Kubernetes, and they all help us move a little bit further to take that digital leap using open source software. And the OpenInfra blueprint is not something that is just kind of theoretical. It's actually used in practice, in production right now. And you'll notice some big names up here, and I'll get into a couple of them in a second, but Korea has a very strong open source and open infrastructure blueprint presence, and you all are on the forefront of taking this digital leap. In fact, KT Cloud has a strategic partnership with one of our platinum members, Rackspace, they're moving all of their workloads onto OpenStack using this OpenInfra blueprint, OpenStack, Kubernetes, Linux, and Ceph. And then Hyundai, who has a massive deployment in 4 major regions, serving up over 10 million cars, giving services to over 10 million cars. So this OpenInfra blueprint is working in practice today, in production. And I want to get into now a little bit about what we're seeing, what the trends in the market are. This is kind of a tumultuous time in technology. There are changes because of AI infrastructure. There are digital sovereignty concerns. Where does my data live? Where does my company's data live? And there are security concerns. And then there's also competition from the big three, AWS and Microsoft and Google. And they're attempting to kind of control the market and control the data. And so we've kind of narrowed these 3 trends down, and this is what we see. Digital sovereignty is one. Licensing rug pulls, and what do I mean by that? Literally, the rug is pulled out from under you by a company like Broadcom when they acquired VMware. All of a sudden, people are paying 500 times more for their VMware licenses. Or people change the open source licensing at the last minute because it's not a true open source project. It's a single vendor open source, maybe. And then AI, of course. Everybody's talking about it, everybody's using it, but it's literally redefining the data center, right? And so all these things together, we believe that open source is the path forward. And you saw that bridge we were building earlier with all of our open source projects. But open source software is the path towards modernizing the data center, reducing your footprint, creating new methods for green computing. But I want to dig into one thing here, which is the licensing rug pulls, the VMware thing. This is a big deal. And I know it's a big deal here in Korea, but it's a big deal globally. VMware controlled a massive market share of virtualization. And right now, companies all over the world are reevaluating what they're doing with their VMware software. They're either in the process of transitioning, or they're planning to transition, or a small handful of those companies are going to continue working with VMware. For those folks that are looking for a way forward, we did a survey with our members and found that over 80% of our members are already talking to customers about moving VMware workloads off onto OpenStack. And over 60% of those members have already actually migrated customers from VMware to OpenStack. And recently, Gartner noted VMware's hyper-converged infrastructure market share is projected to decline from 70% to just 40% by 2029. That is an opportunity. That's an opportunity for OpenStack. It's an opportunity for open source software. And I believe that Korea is in a great place to begin moving those workloads from VMware to OpenStack. And it's also interesting to me that in the way that open source communities are able to react in a way that proprietary software can't. As soon as we heard about the VMware acquisition in late 2023, we started mobilizing our community to work towards features that would accommodate VMware users that were moving to OpenStack, that would help pull up some features that would make them feel more comfortable, and then also working to expand storage driver support and things like that, adding Prometheus integration. These were all done in 3 release cycles between 2024 and 2025. And most proprietary software companies just can't move that fast. You'll also notice some things here that in the same time period, our community did to help manage AI workloads, like Bootsy image support and enhanced GPU acceleration. These things are all critical for modernizing data center, moving VMware to OpenStack, and kind of reducing that data center footprint with the new modern software and hardware. And if you want to read more about it, we've got some VMware migration case studies here. It's not just the upstream community that moves rapidly, also our ecosystem. Just this year, starting in January, I worked with over 30 of our ecosystem partners to create this VMware to OpenStack migration guide. This is a step-by-step guide showing what the state of OpenStack is today, a side-by-side comparison of VMware to OpenStack features, and how you can sell to your maybe C-level decision makers that moving to OpenStack is the right solution to replace VMware. It's the only really scalable open source solution. But if you want to read more about it, it's a 40-page guide. It's highly detailed. Check out the QR code. And if you're interested in these topics, AI, VMware, learning more about how OpenStack community is responding to these things, I would encourage you to join us at the OpenInfra Summit in Paris, October 17th through 19th. Everybody loves Paris. You can learn more about it here, summit2025.openinfra.org. And then at that same event in Paris, we'll have a VMware migration day. So we'll have 5 companies on stage doing a live migration of container workloads from VMware to OpenStack. And we'll also have a whole day of programming talking about all the companies that are working in this space, their migration tools, and how they're responding to them, including zConverter, who will be there live on stage. So thank you very much, and I hope that you will join me as we continue to build the next decade of open infrastructure. Thank you for your time.